Hey guys, Big Nick here, and I'm here to give you my review on Extreme Rules 2017. Now, I am recording this as of Monday, the day after, so this is the day after Extreme Rules. Before I get into all the match reviews, just give the whole pay-per-view review in general, and it was a pretty solid, good show for me. I mean, there were matches that just felt, and there were moments that made you want to go scratch your head, but especially one specific match, which you probably all know where I'm going with that. But I'll get into that when it comes to that. So yeah, Extreme Rules was a good show. Now we just have to wait about a few more weeks until we get to Money in the Bank, and then Great Balls of Fire, and then SummerSlam. Oh, let's go right to it. First, we're gonna start off with the kickoff, and that was Kalisto versus Apollo Crews. It was just a pre-show match. I mean, Crews and Kalisto are very talented in the ring, but they have no character. Kalisto is still getting a push from the company. He won, by the way. He won by beating Crews with the Salida del Sol because O'Neal got involved. He climbed up the ropes with his feet, kicked O'Neal down, hit the Salida del Sol, win. They're both extremely talented. Kalisto was more over when he was a Lucha Dragon, and that's probably something that WWE dropped the ball with more, was the Lucha Dragons. That could have been a way to get Kalisto more over if you're really going to keep using him. Because really, wasn't the purpose of drafting him though to put him in the Cruiserweight division? I mean, he's not loved anymore, but he still gives name value. He's a former two-time U.S. champion. He is a Cruiserweight that is known for his flippy shit, like Rich Swann and Mustafa Ali, and Neville before he turned heel. Okay, so yep, I'm going to go right into the main card, and we're going to start off with a really good opening match, and that was for the Intercontinental title. Miz challenging Ambrose, where if Ambrose got disqualified, he would lose the Intercontinental title. Great in-ring stuff. I love how Miz kept trying to use the disqualification rule, trying to get Ambrose disqualified so he can win the title. Great way to get some heel heat from Miz, because the whole match he was pretty much wrestling cowardly, just trying to get Ambrose disqualified, doing everything in his power to get him disqualified. So yeah, it was a really good back and forth match. Ambrose and Miz actually do work well together. I'm surprised. I mean, the match they had on Raw a few weeks ago was actually pretty fun. So this one here was actually pretty good, especially toward the end when Miz used his own wife Maurice to slap the shit out of him, but the referee didn't fall for that, so he threw Maurice out. But then Maurice was distracting the ref. Before she was thrown out, she came back. Like, before she left the ramp, she came back in to distract. So Miz threw Ambrose into the ref, knocking him out of the ring. Surprisingly, he took a bump where he didn't get knocked out for about 20 minutes. Because that's what happens to all refs. They take one little bump and they knocked out of the match for like the last 20 minutes, so shenanigans can happen. So the whole time, the referee's just walking on this side of the ring, going to disqualify Ambrose. Ambrose like, no, don't freaking disqualify me. So Miz uses that to hit Ambrose with the skull crushing finale. The referee just says, you know, screw it, let me just go in and count to 3. Ding, ding, ding. Miz is the new Intercontinental Champion. A good match. Great way to open up the show. Especially what followed. Especially what follows it. So next up we go to is the mixed tag match between Noam Dar, Alicia Fox, and Rich Swann and Sasha Banks. Sasha and Swann won. Good thing. So, hey, WWE broke the jinx, I guess, where the hometown people always lose in their hometown, which is what happens a lot. Rich Swann is from Baltimore, Maryland, where Extreme Rules was last night, and he actually won with the Phoenix Splash. Sasha Banks did her. It was an okay match. Swann and Dar actually do work well together. Alicia and Sasha felt kind of sloppy, those two. But since they really weren't given that much time, and it just felt really sloppy, those two. They just really bad for Sasha, who is one of the most over women on the roster and probably one of the better wrestlers on the roster. And Alicia has been one of the more disliked from the fans, in my opinion. So it was an okay match. Rich Swann won with the Phoenix Splash. Sasha did her her knees off the top rope on Noam Dar, which led to the Phoenix Splash from Swann. So alright, so someone won in their hometown. And then both Sasha and Rich did a little dance in the ring. Next up we have is a segment which was kind of not needed, but I was okay with it. And that was Elias Sampson segment where he just did his little drifter singing. Something he could have just did on Raw, which they probably will do, but it's a good way to get heat for him. In NXT, he was generally hated They always said he had nuclear heat from the crowd because they always used to chant "drift away." I don't think that chant has made its way up to the main roster, but up to, you know, Raw, but the fans generally boo the shit out of him, so could eventually show up. A good way to just give him some heat. Okay, next up we have is probably the worst match of the night, and that is the candlestick on a pole match between Alexa and Bayley for the women's title. The match was short one. It was maybe 7-8 minutes long, because I remember I was watching the NBA Finals while watching Extreme Rules, and legit watching, I was going back and forth, and all I said was like, what the f... I turned my head, and the match was pretty much over. I was like, what the hell happened? They got to the candlestick pretty quick, and then the moment it got involved, Bayley did nothing with it. Alexa just beat the hell out of her with it, and then DDT'd her and remained the women's champion. It's, in a way, Bayley got buried. I don't know what's going on with that, and it's kind of sad that Bayley's getting buried. She was always probably the most super over women ever. And it's just ever since she came up to the main roster, things just haven't clicked. I mean, she does have her moments where she's extremely over-cheered, but the crowd, now it seems like they're starting to turn on Bayley. And cheer for Alexa, which they've been doing. Alexa Bliss continues. So Alexa Bliss is still Raw Women's Champion. Maybe this puts Sasha into it for a SummerSlam match, or first Alexa probably has to go through a little blow-away feud at Great Balls of Fire. But yeah, it was the worst match of the night, especially those last couple minutes where Alexa just buried the hell out of Bayley. Next up we have is probably one of the two best matches of the night. Actually, the next three are probably the three best matches of the night, including the opener. And that is the steel cage match for the Raw Tag Team titles, Sheamus and Cesaro versus the Hardys. It was a fun, very good match. They really did this match. I think it's like one of the first times that in the cage where the superstars actually use the cage the majority of the match. I mean, the whole first like 5 to 10 minutes, they're just throwing each other into the cage. I liked. No blood, but I liked that. Then we had them, and they kept teasing, and they always moments where they're teasing, trying to get out of the cage, and the opponent stopping them. But Jeff did make it out of the cage, leaving Matt Hardy alone. So Matt was getting his double team by Sheamus and Cesaro. Matt did his thing where he was fighting them off. There's a moment Jeff was actually trying to get back in the cage, and Sheamus actually kicked the door into Jeff, knocking him out for a while so they could work on Matt. They did a white noise off the top rope where Cesaro actually aided holding on to Matt while they jumped. But Matt did his thing, fighting them off, and then Jeff got back, and then Jeff got up, climbed to the top of the cage, because, you know, hey, it's something tall, and Jeff likes to jump off of tall things. Like crazy bastard. Jeff, you're 40 and you have 2 daughters. Stop trying to kill you. We enjoy it, but don't kill yourself. You spot monkey. Listen to your big brother. You spot monkey. So, yep. He does the whisper in the wind off the top of the cage, where he apparently knocked himself out. So now we get to the point where both teams it's a race for the floor. Sheamus and Cesaro climbing over. Matt is dragging the lifeless Jeff Hardy out of the ring. Matt gets out. Sheamus and Cesaro like right here to the floor. So then he's pulling Jeff. Sheamus and Cesaro fall. Bell rings. Sheamus and Cesaro, the new Raw Tag Team Champions for the second time. This is Cesaro's 3rd Tag Team title reign. He held one with Tyson Kidd, and this is his 2nd with Sheamus. I was reading today that this is possibly the reason why they're doing this is to use it to eventually break up the Hardys. So possibly the heel turn for Matt. And also it's probably a way to slowly introduce the broken character. Like Matt Hardy getting pissed off at Jeff is what forces him to break. Like Jeff is what breaks him. Because we'll probably have one more blowover match between the Hardys with the Hardys and Sheamus and Cesaro either on the up and coming Raws, or possibly at Great Balls of Fire. So yeah, it was a fun, really good match. Congratulations, Sheamus and Cesaro, 2-time Tag Team Champions, Raw Tag Team Champions. So yeah, next off we have is the Cruiserweight title match, Aries versus Neville in a submission match. It was a good match, very watchable. I like how they utilized submissions in wrestling, pretty much showing. And that's one thing I always thought that they would try to do with the Cruiserweights, that Triple H has been trying to do, even at the Cruiserweight Classic and with 205 Live and some of the matches, that the Cruiserweights don't have to, that all the matches don't have to rely on flippy crap, like moonsault, suicide dives, and all that crap. Yes, there are some wrestlers who have to utilize it, like Rich Swann, Mustafa Ali, Neville when he first came, before now. They had to utilize Kalisto. But now they're trying to show that they are wrestlers that can wrestle in any type of match at 205, at 205 pounds or less. It's a good match between them. Neville retained. He probably one of the better spots of the night I seen was when Neville did the red arrow on Austin Aries' back. You heard the of knees into back and then right into the rings of Saturn. Aries taps out. Aries had a funniest thing is there's a close up of Aries' face and he was like. Then he went on his Twitter and said he has to really do some thinking about stuff. So I guess maybe this is a way for maybe Aries is contemplating they're gonna contemplate a retirement angle with Aries or something, or he's just taking time off before he returns and maybe turn heel. I mean, I always liked heel Aries more. Okay, so next up now we have the main event, the Fatal 5-Way Extreme Rules match between Reigns, Rollins, Balor, Joe, and Wyatt. This was a fun, really good match. Probably I'd say match of the night. For me, match of the night goes main event, the Fatal 5-Way, Steel Cage, Miz Ambrose, and the submission match. So I don't know, a lot of good matches. The winner is Samoa Joe, surprising the hell out of everyone that the Samoan submission machine, Joe, will face Brock Lesnar at Great Balls of Fire. So one of the dream matches, and I believe I did say Joe winning would be a dream match. So, oh no, that was a very fun match. There was a lot of spots. There was a barricade spot where Reigns speared Balor and Joe, because Joe had the Coquina clutch on Balor through the barricade. Rollins a frog splash on Bray Wyatt through one of the announce tables. I don't think it was the Spanish one? I don't know, because even when there's two more announce tables, the Spanish announce table is always the one that gets picked on still. Next off we have is, and during that, a lot of teasing between matches like Rollins and Reigns at the beginning, which they eventually did later in the match. Reigns went into Superman mode, where he was just Superman punching everyone, spearing people. But then Finn Balor takes him down. But then Samoa Joe comes in, he puts the Coquina clutch on Balor, chokes him out. One issue with that is the fact that Balor again took another clean loss. The only difference was this one, he didn't get pinned or he didn't tap out, he was choked out. And you can't say that made him look weak, because we have seen Samoa Joe choke out Seth Rollins in the past. Choke many other guys out. I believe he also choked out Sami Zayn and stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see how this works out, with Joe being the #1 contender, especially on Raw. Will he call out Lesnar? Lesnar, I don't know if he's scheduled for tonight. I believe he's scheduled for some shows in June, and then leading into July. That'll be interesting to see Joe and Paul Heyman segments. And maybe a Joe and Brock Lesnar altercation would be very interesting to see that happen. I'm down with this match. Hopefully it's not a squash for Joe, just because he came from NXT and he's only been on the main roster not even half a year. And because it's Brock Lesnar, he's a beast, so he could just fling people. And this match is probably going to be what we expected Goldberg and Lesnar to be for those back at Survivor Series, just them beating the living hell out of each other. Because that's what they both are known for doing, especially Joe. Joe's always been known, especially his days in TNA, as one of the stiffer hitters. I mean, I have some of his matches, seen a lot of his matches from TNA where he just hit the shit out of you. We know Lesnar's known for just flinging you across the ring. It would be nice to see that happen, and fling each other around. I don't expect Joe to win that match, but it'll be fun. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. That was Extreme Rules 2017. It was a good show. I hope the Bayley burying, and I hope the burial with Bayley really doesn't curse the show. Maybe this means maybe this is gonna lead to a Bayley snap-in moment, where she can't take it anymore and she just snaps and takes a takes a chair or candlestick and beats the hell out of Alexa or just someone. Doesn't mean she'll probably turn heel, because I don't think she works heel, but never know. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys again, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys again. Bye.